So I am starting a new series on my channel where I am going to go through my makeup collection. So I am going to go kind of item by item. So I'm going to start off with some concealers. I have my eyeliners, mascaras, and bronzers. So those are the 4 I'm going to be doing today, and they will each be their own video. That way they're a little bit shorter, hopefully. So I'm just going to dive right in. So this is everything that is in my current makeup collection. And I have really nice acrylic drawers that I actually bought on eBay. And there's, I believe, 5 of them in this big kind of drawer thing. And so this is all of my concealers. And so I'm just going to start. So I'm going to try and kind of go favorites to least favorites. So my favorite concealer that I am using right now is this Makeup Forever there's 5 different shades in here. So there's a green, a peach, and then kind of 3 more lighter shades, which, if you cannot tell, I am on the paler side. So I love this, and as you can kind of see, that I use every single one of them, and I'm just obsessed with this. It's definitely worth the $40 that you have to pay to get all 5 of these. I mainly use the peach one for under my eyes every single day. So next off, my next favorite one that I've been using is this Maybelline Age Rewind. I was trying to read the French side and I don't speak French. Eraser Dark Circles Treatment Concealer. And so as you can see, like, I'm over halfway done with this, so I really need to order it. So here's what it looks like. And it is just really great. I find that it almost kind of is a little bit peachy, and that kind of helps with the under eyes because I have very dark under eye circles. Very dark. And one thing I love about this one is the applicator on it. It's a little sponge tip applicator. That way it's easy to apply it underneath your eyes and you don't have to use a brush. You can, but I actually don't with this one. And this is from the drugstore, so it's very affordable. Up next, I'm going to try and keep this moving pretty fast. My next 3 favorites that I would have to say are the NYX HD concealers. And these are also pretty affordable. They're $5 a piece. So I have it in the shades 1, 2, and 3. And they're kind of hard to see the difference. You can kind of tell one's a little bit more yellow, one's a little bit more neutral, and one's a little bit more peach. But these are really great concealers. I can use them for spots, under eyes, you name it. They're pretty good for that. They remind me a lot of the NARS Creamy Concealer. Not quite as creamy, but still a good coverage and kind of has that same kind of look right after you apply it. Mia is on the floor eating something. The danger of having a cat makeup products is if you have a little piece of plastic on the floor, they will try to eat it. So up next is the Sephora brand concealers, and these are called the Bright Future. So I have one. The top one is a color corrector in peach, and the bottom one is more in fair in my skin tone. And so I'll use this one under my eyes first, and then I will go and use the lighter one after I've blended this one out. And they work. Man, I just have slippery hands today. They work really well. So for $14, they're not the cheapest concealer. Like, you could buy almost 3 of the NYX ones for this price. I would say go with NYX, but these ones are pretty good if you're at Sephora and you're looking for a concealer. I believe this is one of the cheapest ones that you can buy at Sephora. So up next, I'm going to talk about my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. And I have this in the shade NW15. And as you can tell, like, I've already kind of gone through some of it. The thing I don't like about this concealer is that it's a pump. And I find that most of these concealers that I have that are either a pump or like a squeeze tube, I really don't like just the application process. I find it just takes so much more time to kind of apply it. You either have to kind of like foundation, put it on your hand and blend it in, and then use a brush, where I like the ones with the doe foods that make it easy to apply, and then use brush, or beauty blender. I'm just on fire today. And I don't know, like, the formula of this is pretty good. The color is really good. I find that if I use this with a beauty blender, it's amazing. It still works really well with a brush. I find that the Marc Jacobs the conceal brush is the best brush to use with this. You can get very flawless looking under eyes. So it's pretty good. MAC Pro Longwear. So then we're like halfway done. So then this is not exactly an under eye concealer, but it's a product that helps with your under eyes, and this is the e.l.f. Hydrating Under Eye Primer, and I believe this is $3 or $4. And so I actually had the Smashbox Hydrating Under Eye Primer for the longest time that was like $28, and this did the exact same job. So how I use this is kind of before I've applied my foundation, I will go in with my under eye circles, apply a little bit of this, and what this does is I get really dry and cakey under eye circles easily, and so this will kind of help to kind of add a little hydration before I go and put all these products on top of it. So I'll put this on, and then I'll do some color correcting with the peach concealer, and sometimes I'll either go in with my natural skin tone concealer, or I'll do foundation and then concealer. It just kind of depends on how much coverage I want to achieve. But this is a really good hydrating under eye primer. If you get really dry and like crackly under eyes, like this will help. And it's so cheap. It's $3. And so the next one, oh, I had another, I'm just going to talk about this quickly, another NYX concealer, and this is the green one. And one comment about this is it's so green it's hard to blend. It's really hard to blend. I find that the green that comes in here is the easiest green concealer that I've ever used to like cover up redness, and it blends out like a dream. This one is just like you can't blend it as much as you want. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So then up next I have these Algenesis Reveal Concentrated Color Drops, and they look like this. And I have it in a peachy tone for under eye correcting, blue, which I believe is for like shallowness and if you have any kind of more like surfacey issues, and then green is more for, again, redness. And with these drops, these were actually a deluxe sample from Sephora, which was an amazing deal. And so I really like the green and the peach. I find that this green is more similar to the Makeup Forever and it blends out. One thing to note is that I have not like just used these, and they're supposed to actually have some kind of skincare kind of help with it, that it'll help your under eyes and like redness over time. I cannot say loyal enough to one concealer to kind of test that out, but I do like the color correcting properties of these. With that being said, I do not know if I would pay the $38 a piece to buy the full size of these. I love the mini ones that I got, but I don't think I would pay the $38. And then a couple more. So then up next is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD, and this is like a two-part set. You can buy the peachy color correct, and then you can buy the concealer. And so I just have the concealer, and because I have so many color correctors, especially peach ones. And so I have this, and I think this is really good. It's really good formula. Blends out really easily and doesn't get cakey. Again, my only problem is it has kind of tip that isn't, you can't blend it in super easily, and that's just kind of maybe petty. I mean, you shouldn't really judge a concealer based on its packaging completely, right? But I think this is really good. It is kind of on the pricier end, but if you're looking for a really good concealer, this is a good one. Okay, a couple more. So I recently purchased the Naked Skin, which everyone has been raving about, and I like it. It reminds me a lot of the NYX and a little bit of the NARS Creamy Concealer. I don't know, I'm still not completely feeling the hype about it. Maybe it's just because I have very, 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 very dark under eye circles, and maybe some people just have very, very, very dark under eye circles. But I do think that this works well for concealing spots, and like I have my birthmark, and I also have this little burn mark that I got from my soup exploding in my face, so I mean it works well for that. So then the next one is a new one. It's Morphe. So I know there's a lot of talk about Morphe and their brushes and their eyeshadows, but they recently came out with concealers, and you know what? It has the doe foot, and in terms of formula, I think the formula is really good. It reminds me again a lot of this NYX NARS, like it kind of has that similar feeling. My only thing is that color. So this one online, it looked like it would be a really good match for me, but when I got it, like it's super pinky, and I'm not super pinky. So the color is the only issue I have with this. I believe they have a decent amount of shades in the line, so maybe I just need to pick out the right shade. But it was kind of hard to do that. But for $5, like, it's a pretty good concealer. Okay, we're almost there. So up next is the number 7 Radiant Glow Concealer from number 7. And you can buy this at Target. And so this is what it looks like. And the thing that I love about this is it has the clicker, just like the Touche Éclat from YSL. I've always wanted to try the Touche Éclat, but I cannot rationalize ever spending that much money on like a little makeup pen of goop. So this one, like, this is exactly what I would imagine it to be like. And the thing that I love, which might sound silly, is I love the clicking. It clicks and it just like has the brush, so it's easy to just go and apply it and then blend it out with a beauty blender. This one I believe is about $10. And one thing that I like is it has the month and like how long it lasts on it, which I believe all have to. And this one is a 24-monther. That means that like the formula in it, like you can keep it for 24 months, 2 years. But if you go and look at one like the Naked Skin, it says 9 months. So that means for $10, you're getting a product that, as long as you don't go through it faster than that, like this will, like the shelf life and like how long you can keep it is so much longer than so many of these other products. Like the NYX ones say 6 months. So it's just kind of nice when there's more natural beauty products that don't expire because the chemicals aren't about to go poo. So this one I really like, and I have this in, I believe, shade number 20, which is like one of the lightest ones. And so with this one is it is more highlighting, kind of like the Touche Éclat. So it's a highlighting concealer. So I'll check this one out at Target. And so then I have 2 more NYX ones. So I'm really loving the NYX concealers. So I have the Wonder Pencil, and it's just like this little almost like a lip liner, but it's like a concealing pencil. And so this one's really good for little like blemishes and little spots you want to cover up. I also really love this to kind of outline my lips, like if I goof up with my lip liner or lipstick or just kind of anything that I goof up on. Like I find that this is like super easy to go in there and like fix it without having to like start from scratch. So that's pretty good, and it's pretty cheap. I believe it was like $3 or $4 at the NYX store. So that is the NYX Wonder Pencil. And I believe that you can also, yeah, it says concealer, eye brightener, and reverse lip liner in one. So you can also like use this for like the inner corner of your eyes to make them pop. And so the second to last one, I have 2 more, and they actually look very similar. And one thing that's kind of funny is these all look very, very similar. So this is the Makeup Forever one, and this is the NYX Gotcha Covered, and then this is the Wet n Wild Come Correct Celebrity Concealer. And one thing that I think about these two is I think they're pretty much very, very similar. They are both cheap. They're all, I believe they're $5. They're both $5. This one is waterproof. I don't think this one is waterproof. I don't jump into pools with full faces of makeup. Just don't do that. But these are both very good, affordable concealers. I don't reach for these very often because, as you can tell, I have a problem with concealers and buying them. So I don't reach for these very often, but they are very rich and creamy and like very thick. Like they are thick, thick, thick. So if you want really thick concealer, go for these 2. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I think this is probably going to be one of the longest ones because I think I own the most concealers out of anything. With that being said, I do own a lot of eyeliners, so we will see how that goes. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions. If you have any recommendations for a concealer that I did not mention that you use and you love, let me know. You know, I'll go buy it. So have a good day. Bye.